My name is John Miller, and this is the story of how a quiet man finally said, "Enough." I've always been a calm man. Some people called me quiet. They thought I didn't get angry. They thought I just let things go. Maybe they were right, for a long time. I believed in picking my battles. I believed in peace. My wife, Brenda, she was different. She was loud. She was always busy. Her needs always came first. I learned to live with it. I thought it kept the peace. It didn't. It just built up inside me, slowly, like concrete drying. We had been married for 20 years. 20 years of me quietly supporting her. 20 years of her chasing her own desires. Her appointments, her hobbies, her friends. My father, Arthur, he was 82 years old. He lived alone. I checked on him every day. I made sure he had what he needed. He was a good man. A kind man. He taught me about quiet strength. He taught me about responsibility. Brenda loved her car. It was a new SUV. Silver. Shiny. She kept it spotless. She bought it 2 years ago. Most of the money came from my savings. I didn't mind at the time. She wanted it. I wanted her happy. That was my way. I worked hard. I always had. I provided for our home. I paid the bills. I made sure there was food. I fixed things when they broke. Brenda, she just enjoyed the life I built for us. She rarely noticed the effort. Small things started to bother me more lately. She would forget things I asked her to do. Simple things. Like picking up groceries I needed for dinner. She would be late for family dinners. She would always have a reason. A nail appointment. A hair appointment. A coffee date. Her schedule was always full. Full of her things. My things, my family, they often came second. Or third. Or not at all. I would just sigh. I would just do it myself. I would tell myself it wasn't a big deal. It was just a small thing. One morning, I needed to take her car. Mine was in the shop for an oil change. She had a nail appointment. It was important. To her. She told me the night before. "John, I need the car tomorrow. Don't plan anything with it." I told her okay. I could work around it. I always did. The day started like any other. I made coffee. I read the news on my tablet. Brenda was still asleep. The house was quiet. Too quiet. I got a call at 9:15 a.m. It was my father's neighbor, Mrs. Henderson. Her voice was shaking. "John! John, it's Arthur. He's fallen. He's on the floor. He's in pain. I think he broke something." My heart stopped. My blood ran cold. My father, 82 years old. Alone. Fallen. Pain. My mind raced. I needed to get to him. Immediately. My car was still at the garage. Brenda had the SUV. "Is he conscious, Mrs. Henderson?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Yes, but he's crying. He can't move. I called an ambulance. They're on their way. You need to come, John." "I'm coming. I'm on my way." I hung up. I rushed to the bedroom. Brenda was just waking up. She was stretching. "Brenda! I need the car. My dad fell. He broke his hip, Mrs. Henderson thinks. An ambulance is on the way. I need to get to the hospital." My voice was urgent. I grabbed my keys from the hook. Brenda sat up in bed. She looked at me. Her face showed annoyance, not concern. The car? John, I have my nail appointment. It's at 10. I can't miss it. Brenda, my father is hurt. He's 82. This is serious. I need to get to him. The ambulance will take him to Stone Creek Hospital. I have to be there. She sighed. A loud, exaggerated sigh. She swung her legs out of bed. Can't you call a taxi? Or an Uber? My appointment is already paid for. I've been looking forward to this all week. I stared at her. My father, helpless on the floor, maybe with a broken hip. And her nails were more important. The words settled in my gut. A cold, hard stone. Brenda. My father. He needs me. And my nails need me, John. My appointment is more important. Your dad can wait. You can take a taxi. It's not that far. That was it. That was the moment. The line had been crossed. All the small things, all the quiet disappointments, all the times I let it go, they all came crashing together. But I didn't yell. I didn't shout. My voice stayed even. Clear. Fine. I said. Just one word. Fine. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. My hand was on the doorknob. I just looked at her one last time. She was looking at her phone, checking the time for her appointment. She didn't even look up. I walked out. I closed the door quietly. I called a taxi. It took 20 minutes to arrive. Every minute felt like an hour. I paced on the sidewalk. My phone rang. It was Mrs. Henderson. They took him, John. Stone Creek. I know. The taxi is almost here. I'm coming. The taxi ride was a blur. My mind was racing. My father. What if it was serious? What if he wouldn't recover? And Brenda. Her words echoed. My appointment is more important. Your dad can wait. It wasn't just about the car. It was about her complete lack of empathy. Her disregard for my pain. For my father's pain. For my family. I got to the hospital. The strong smell of disinfectant hit me first. The white walls. The hushed voices. I went to the emergency room desk. Arthur Miller, I said to the nurse. My voice was tight. She looked him up. Room 3. A doctor will be with you shortly. I walked to room 3. My father was on a bed. His face was pale. He looked small. A nurse was adjusting his fore. He saw me. His eyes, usually so bright, were filled with pain. John, he whispered. I went to his side. I held his hand. It was frail. I'm here, Dad. I'm here. He squeezed my hand. It hurts, son. I know, Dad. I know. A doctor came in. Dr. Evans. He was calm. He explained. Mr. Miller, your father has a fractured hip. It's a clean break, but it will require surgery. We're getting him prepped now. It will be a few hours. Will he be okay? I asked. We'll do our best, John. He's strong for his age. But it's a major surgery. Recovery will be long. I sat in the waiting room. My phone was in my pocket. I didn't even think about calling Brenda. She knew. She chose. I spent the next 4 hours just sitting, watching the clock, listening to the hospital sounds. Nurses talking. Footsteps. The clang of a cart. My mind was quiet. The anger wasn't a fire. It was a block of ice. Hard. Cold. Unmoving. The surgery went well. Dr. Evans updated me. My father was wheeled into recovery. I could see him for a few minutes. He was still groggy. He smiled weakly when he saw me. I stayed there. I kept vigil. I didn't leave his side. Brenda didn't call. Not once. She didn't text. Not a single message asking about my father. Not a single word of support for me. It confirmed everything. Her nails were indeed more important. Her comfort was more important. Her entire world revolved around her. I thought about the word, fine. When I said it, it wasn't acceptance. It was a promise. A promise to myself. A promise of change. I wasn't going to live like this anymore. I wasn't going to let her disrespect me. Or my family. Not ever again. I stayed at the hospital until late. My father was settled in his room. He was sleeping, heavily sedated. I told the nurse I would return first thing in the morning. I needed to go home. I needed to get some things. And I had a plan. A quiet plan. I took another taxi home. The house was dark. Brenda was asleep. The silver SUV was in the driveway. It gleamed under the streetlights. Untouched. Perfect. I walked past it. I went inside. I didn't make a sound. I went to my office. I sat down at my desk. I opened my laptop. I started to organize things. My finances. Our joint accounts. I moved my money. I opened a new account. Just for me. I looked up apartments for rent. Small ones. Something simple. I looked up storage units. I looked up legal advice for separation. I worked until the early hours. The quiet hum of the computer was the only sound. My mind was clear. Focused. Brenda woke up around 7 a.m. She walked past my office. She didn't notice me. She went to the kitchen. I heard the coffee machine start. She probably expected me to join her. I didn't. I kept working. I found a small apartment. It was unfurnished. Perfect. I put down a deposit online. I found a storage unit a few blocks from there. I booked it. I was methodical. Then I focused on the car. The silver SUV. It was in my name. I had bought it. Brenda just used it. The title was in my safe. I went to the safe. I pulled out the title. I looked at it. I had paid cash for it. All my savings. I remembered how happy she was. How she promised to keep it nice. How she promised to appreciate it. I found a local car dealership online. They bought used cars. I made an appointment for 8 a.m. They opened early. I called a tow truck service. I told them I needed a specific car picked up from my house at 7:30 a.m. I gave them instructions. Just quietly hitch it up and take it to the dealership. The keys will be with the dealership. I gathered my own things. A backpack. A suitcase. My clothes. My laptop. My important documents. My father's old watch, which he had given me years ago. I made sure I had everything I needed to start fresh. I went to the kitchen. Brenda was drinking coffee. She was scrolling on her phone. She looked up at me. "Oh, you're home. How's your dad? She asked, her tone casual, detached. He's okay. His hip is broken. He had surgery. He's recovering. My voice was flat, emotionless. Oh, that's good. So, will he be out soon? She asked, already looking back at her phone. No. He'll be there for a while. Then rehab. Poor thing, she mumbled, not really paying attention. I walked to the fridge. I opened it. I took out a small container of my favorite yogurt. Then I went to the counter and took a banana. I filled a glass with water. I ate quietly. Brenda went back to her phone. She didn't notice the bags by the door. She didn't notice the quiet resolve in my eyes. The clock on the wall read 7:25 a.m. I heard the faint sound of a truck outside. It was very quiet. I had chosen a discreet service. Good. I finished my yogurt. I put the spoon in the sink. I picked up my bags. I'm leaving, Brenda, I said. My voice was calm. She looked up again, distracted. Leaving? Where are you going, John? I'm going to my new apartment. I'm moving out. Her eyes widened a little. What? What are you talking about? Don't be silly. Where would you go? I found a place. I put a deposit down. She scoffed. You're being dramatic. Over your dad? It's just a broken hip. You're upset. You'll get over it. No, Brenda. I'm not upset. I'm done. I'm done with being second. I'm done with your appointments being more important than my family, than my father, than me. Don't be ridiculous, John. Stop this. Where would you even go? And how would you get there? I need the car for later. At that exact moment, the faint sound outside grew a little louder. A slight whirring. Then a soft clunk. The sound of a car being hitched. You mean my car, Brenda? I asked. She frowned. Our car, John. What are you talking about? It's my car, Brenda. It's in my name. I paid for it. And it's being towed away right now. To a dealership. I'm selling it. Her jaw dropped. What? You can't. John. My nails. I need that car. She jumped up. She ran to the window. She screamed. John! What have you done? The silver SUV was slowly being pulled down the driveway. The tow truck was already turning the corner. Gone. I looked at her. Her face was red. Her eyes were wide with panic. The silence in the house was thick. My appointment is more important, Brenda. My dad can wait. I repeated her own words back to her. My voice was still calm. Cold. She stared at me. She started to ramble. You're crazy. You can't do this. Where will I go? How will I get my nails done? My hair appointment? My friends. That's your problem, Brenda, I said. Just like my father's broken hip was my problem. Without you. I walked to the door. I opened it. I looked back at her one last time. She was still standing by the window, staring at the empty driveway. Her hands were clenched. Her perfectly manicured nails. Goodbye, Brenda, I said. Then I walked out. I closed the door behind me. I didn't look back. I got into the taxi I had called earlier. It was waiting down the street. It took me to the new apartment. The keys were already in my hand. I started my new life. Quietly. The next morning, I was at the hospital. My father was awake. He was weak but alert. We talked. I told him about the apartment. I told him I wouldn't be going back home. I didn't have to explain why. He knew. He always knew more than he let on. He just nodded slowly. He squeezed my hand. "It's time, son," he said. "It's time you put yourself first." My phone was in my pocket. I felt it vibrate. Then again. And again. It went on and on. I didn't pull it out. I just kept talking to my father. About his recovery. About the future. About everything but Brenda. Later, when my father fell asleep, I took my phone out. I looked at the screen. It was full of missed calls. From Brenda. 42 calls. All from her. Her picture was repeated again and again. Each one a frantic plea. Each one a sign of her panic. Her world had fallen apart. Because her car was gone. Because her comfort was gone. Because I was gone. I didn't answer. I didn't text back. I just looked at the screen. The cold, hard stone in my gut was gone, replaced by a quiet sense of peace. A sense of justice. It wasn't about anger anymore. It was about respect. Respect for myself. Respect for my father. And Brenda, she finally learned a lesson. The hard way. If this story resonated with you, join our channel by liking and subscribing for more real, raw, and family-centered stories. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.